Hey friends, we are back live at iamdeveloper.live. My name's Nick Taylor, your host, and today I'm hanging out with a couple members from the RedwoodJS core team. We've got Dom Saadi and Anthony Campolo. Thanks for joining me, both of you. Dom, if you just want to go ahead and if folks aren't familiar with who you are, just maybe kind of give a little lowdown of who Dom, the mysterious person, is.
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I've been on the RedwoodJS core team for, I want to say, like 2 years now. So I do like releases. So if you see the release notes, I wrote those or had help writing them. My GitHub tag is JTOR, so no relation to my name. But I have a lot of fun working on Redwood. I'm kind of like a generalist, so I'll help people with their projects or like mainly fix bugs or address triage. Sometimes I'll like lead projects myself, but I feel like I'm mainly like the garbage collector or like the runtime where I'm cleaning up resources or like allocating things for people. But it's a lot of fun and I learn a lot. And we're
Awesome.
shipping a lot these days and excited to talk about that and yeah, what's coming up and what we just did.
Oh, cool. No, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about all that too. And yeah, maybe call yourself the collector. It makes me think of Guardians of the Galaxy or the MCU. But yeah,
It sounds way
Anthony, if
cooler.
you
Yeah.
Anthony, if you just wanted to go ahead and maybe let folks know who you are and what you've been up to.
Yeah, hello. My name is Anthony Campolo, and I've been on the stream in the past. I am also
I can't
on
hear
the.
you, Anthony, for some
You
reason.
can't hear me. Really? Let's see.
Why are
I
you
can hear
not
him,
getting?
but I
Oh,
don't
really?
know if that's
Okay, yeah. Why are you not getting picked up? Hold on a sec here.
Testing.
Because I can't hear him either.
Dom said he can't hear
This
me.
is also
yeah.
like I was telling you before the stream, Dom. It's it's never perfect, but this is actually the first time I have two guests, so bear with me for 1 second here.
Mhm.
Let's take a peek here because I see it coming through there, but why am I not hearing you? I'm curious. I'm just gonna ask the folks in the chat if they can hear you.
Hello,
If folks
hello.
can hear Anthony, do you mind just anybody
Testing,
just giving a
testing.
thumbs up in the chat? And
Can you
if
hear
not,
me?
I'm gonna go and see.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I can hear
All right.
myself
I
through
tested this
Twitch.
before, so I'm not sure why it's not working, but that's life. I'm just gonna ask. Let's see here. Can anyone hear Anthony?
Dev said, yeah.
All right, I'll just wait. Okay, so everybody can hear you except me. I do have closed captioning on, which is good. So just keep going ahead and say who you are, and I'm gonna see what's up here.
All right. You can also
This can
move
make
my
for an interesting
mic
stream.
a little bit. Okay.
I'm glad folks
Hello.
hear you though.
My name is Anthony
Let me go
Campolo.
check
I
this out.
am a developer advocate on the Redwood team. And yeah, see some friendly faces in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, and hopefully Nick will
ahead,
get
Anthony.
this whole situation figured out soon.
Why can't I hear you? Oh man, so weird. Okay, well, let's keep going on, and I'm gonna figure this out. Okay, so did you give a thumbs up if you did your intro, Anthony? Because I didn't hear it. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna sort that out, but yeah. So we're Dom, you were saying you've been shipping a lot of stuff, and one of those things that you've been shipping recently is RedwoodJS 4 dropped 2 or 3 weeks ago. Is that right?
Yeah, just at the end of January, I want to say like the 30th. So been 2 or 3 weeks now.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. And I guess what's the big lines there in terms of what shipped?
Yeah, I think the tagline David Price wanted to go with was something like the new Auth API and then GraphQL security like features or improvements. Those were
Okay.
the headliner statements.
Okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. And I guess what does that entail exactly? Like
Mhm.
that's like the high level.
Yeah, so like Redwood like prides itself on integrating for you, so you don't have to like do any config. So that auth was
Okay.
like a huge part of that. Like if we didn't, auth was actually one of the first things we shipped, like in way back when, like before we were V1, and it
Okay.
was like auth 0. We didn't have like one auth provider we all loved, or like there wasn't one that was like massively more popular in the JS ecosystem. So we didn't want to
Okay.
risk like isolating people who didn't use auth 0 or something like that, or someone will only use like AWS Cognito, for instance. We want to make sure like there's a way for you to still use Redwood with the auth provider you want. And
Okay.
I don't think we realized that till like just this release, to be honest, because the integrations were all like very internal to the framework. Like you could set up like Clerk or set up
Okay.
the in-house one, but if you wanted to use something we didn't support, you were like pretty much out of luck.
Okay, so basically there's just hooks for people to not React hooks, but I mean like, or maybe, but just hooks to get in there to plug in whatever you need to through some common API. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
exactly.
cool. Anthony, can you do me a favor for 1 second? Can you try speaking? Because I think I might
Hello?
have fixed it.
Can you hear me now?
God damn it. Nope.
Nope.
I think can you go ahead and speak again? Because I have closed captioning at least.
Yeah. Test. Can the captions hear me?
Yeah, test. I saw that. Okay. All right. For now, because people can hear you, I'm just gonna follow along if in the closed captioning.
I'll try to
It's a little
speak
awkward, but
slowly and clearly.
I don't want to spend too much time sorting this out while we're live. So
Okay, Dom's saying, yeah,
okay, cool.
most important
So
stuff.
yeah, so you're saying like, well, I guess let's back up a bit. There's all this new stuff in Redwood, but for folks that might be new to Redwood, like what is Redwood exactly? Like if you were to explain, like I'm a dev, I want to dig into Redwood. What is it? What does it give me? And then we can kind of maybe go from there.
Yeah, so Redwood is a full stack like JSTS solution for building like a real business or like a real app. It doesn't like we do focus on like you could build your startup with this, but we don't want that to scare people as like if you're not building a startup, it's not for me. It still is, like it's still
Okay.
great. But it has everything you need. Like we want to be complete, like in a Laravel way. Like we're not quite there yet. Like we don't have an emailer, for instance, but like those are the features that are on our roadmap and like on our mind is you should use this like from day one, and it's going to have like you need like an auth solution. You're going to have options, and you're not going to have to touch a Babel config or I don't know, anything related to tooling. Like you're going to focus on your business instead, your actual like logic specific to you. And we just like we'll take all the pain of Webpack or Babel like when those upgrades come out. Like we'll make sure they work. we'll understand what breaks and what doesn't. And yeah, that's like the reason to use Redwood is there's like a golden path there that like people like Tom and Peter and David have thought over, and like these are people who like did build like in our building companies now, so also feeling the pain and trying to kind of like push those patterns back into a framework from like a dog fooding perspective.
Cool. Anthony, I think I can hear you. I did a hack to make it work, so I don't know if you had anything you want to add to that.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, I think that probably covered it. I think did we talk about? I was kind of looking at some other things. Sorry, did we mention Veet at all?
Oh, not yet.
Cool. Yeah, that probably
that is one of the newer things. Yeah.
To talk about. Yeah, I've been very excited for Veet support because there's so many frameworks now using it, and it seems like for the most part the only other one that was still on it was Next, which is like Vercel employs the person who maintains Webpack, so kind of makes sense they would stick around with that. But I think we were kind of like the last ones to make this switch. We're not on Veet entirely. It's kind of like an experimental opt-in feature, but that's one thing that I've been really excited for and looking forward to us integrating.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, everybody, well, aside from like obviously Vercel's using TurboPack for stuff, but Veet is used pretty widely. I mean, starting off in Vue, like my coworker Ryan Carniato, they've plugged it into Solid. Hydrogen uses it from Shopify. Remix. There's like, I think even and Svelte as well. So like I think pretty much
And Quick and Marco
most
and
frameworks
Nux.
they've migrated to that, you know. So
Yeah, it's pretty much everybody. This really kind of came through for me watching VeetConf, because VeetConf, which was like the end of last year, they had all the framework authors there and all these presentations, and that was a lot of time. I was like, man, Redwood's not here. That sucks.
yeah. No, it's but it's experimental in the sense that like you've got it working, but it's not necessarily like recommended for production yet. Basically, is that what it comes down to?
Yeah, like you can set it up, and I think it works fairly well. But we've had some like edge cases where your favorite CSS framework might not be like auto loaded, like the same way Webpack kind of like has its tentacles all over the app. It needs to know about everything for Storybook, for Jest, and Veet needs to like it works in the very smallest way, which is like you start the dev server and then your logic is there, but we need to like integrate it across the board, and it's just not there yet. So your results may vary a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Speaking of Storybook, I forgot there's that integration as well. So this kind of ties into like when you're building a product for your company or some platform for your company. Redwood's using React under the hood. Storybook supports, as far as I know, Redwood only supports React. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Storybook, and so it's nice to have it tightly integrated with this, because I've always been the person, whenever I end up somewhere, I'm the person that sets up Storybook. I'm the person that configured Webpack and stuff. So it's kind of nice to just be like, okay, here it is, and it's just working. So that's good to hear. What was I going to say? Yeah, and you were talking about the Veet integration. There's a open source project called Open Sauce, and I actually migrated their Storybook to Veet. So they probably don't have, I don't think they really had that many loaders or plugins in terms of Webpack, which it sounds like you do more, because you were saying all the tentacles everywhere. Or
it's like probably not that many plugins, but it's like just a lot of files in places, and specifically with Storybook, like you said, like there's actually a lot of like mocking you have to do. Like if you just want to render your page or component, like sometimes you need the router to be there, and then you need to be like all this other stuff above it. So it's just making sure we want to have full coverage, right, before we like recommend, because and we're just not confident we've like made sure it works across the board yet. But you should totally like try it out. It's not gonna like break your app, I don't think. Like, and if it does, you can just go back to Webpack super easy, but it is like way faster.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know, because I was speaking with Michael Chan on the stream at some point. They have Veet support now, but there's still a part of, so like when you change your components, it does re-render faster with Veet, but there's still a part of Storybook that is still using Webpack, which they're working on pulling that out. But it'll be nice once it's all been Veetified or whatever they call it.
Yeah, their V7 release is coming very soon. I want to say like in the next couple months, and that's when I saw they had like legit Veet support, or I guess like legit enough that they're recommending you try it out and switch. So I'm excited, and definitely a lot of respect for Storybook, because they do, like, I think I do Webpack, and they do like 10 times as much Webpack, like the kind of like stuff they have to support, and like even with their testing integration now, like it's crazy, what they have to do to be like that framework agnostic.
Okay. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, because they support quite a few frameworks now. Vue, Svelte, React, obviously, Preact, and so yeah, there's a ton of work to rework that. But yeah, so getting back to Redwood though, because we're not talking about Storybook really. So I guess like maybe some other concepts we can go over. Like I definitely want to dig into some of the stuff that came in V4, but like for folks again who are still new to Redwood or haven't tried it before, like what are some other concepts? Like I remember when chatting with Anthony, there's the concept of cells, and I think it'd be good to kind of go over that because that's like kind of like I don't know if it's a primitive of Redwood or what you would call it, but it's definitely a core component of stuff going on in Redwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cells are like the a primitive is a good word. It's like the way you get data on the page. Like every framework like has a data fetching solution, and cells are like, if I have to put them in a box, they're the render and then fetch, like, which is like at this point like a bit of an outdated paradigm, or like, the other frameworks like Remix make their pitches on like you can have that all done before you even like navigate to the page, right? So
Yeah.
we were definitely like exploring moving in those directions. It's you have the trade-offs of just like there's no waterfall if the data is all there. Cells, like you have a waterfall depending on like how you nest it, and you could get into some like hot water there. But
Okay.
there's it takes advantage of like a declarative approach where you have like 4 exports, the query,
Yeah.
then like what do you want to show based on like what happened. Like if there was data, then you want to go to like success of like, hey, data's on the page, like I want, like, here it is, like you can interact with it. But there's going to be
Yeah.
cases when there is no data and you probably want to show something else, like get started, like, or some kind of like call to action, maybe a little bit more of like something more fun, I guess. And then there's an error, yeah, you need to do something else again. So, and that happens like
Yeah.
all the time, right? It's not like that's a one-off thing. It's like literally on every page or in different ways. So
Mhm.
we don't want you to have to like do a bunch of if statements all the time for like if this happened and then if that happened, render this or render that, because that can get kind of gnarly in React if you have like too many ways to render something, and then you have to make sure you're rendering null here, or like is it coming in and out of the page, like. So we just want you to focus on like, what do I want to show, and Redwood will take care of like the routing in terms of the rendering there. That's
Okay,
the core
gotcha.
idea.
Okay. And so do you use an existing router solution like React Router or something, or is there a bespoke Redwood router?
Yeah, there's actually a bespoke one, and this is like Tom's baby. Like he coded this, which is awesome.
Okay.
So definitely like we took our cues from like the existing routers, like Reach Router specifically. I think we looked like heavily at like how it worked.
Okay.
But Redwood does like, it owns its router. It is for very specific reasons, and that's like Tom specifically like did not like nested routes. He wants
Okay.
to know like where a route goes. Like, what am I seeing when I render the route? Like, I don't want to have to figure that out. Was kind of his
Yeah.
take, because it can get, there's definitely like tons of advantages to nested routes, but you
Mhm.
often don't know like right away what you're going to see when you navigate there, depending on like how much nesting's involved and like how many different components can change things like above you. So with Redwood, you kind of know exactly what you're getting when you look at the route. Like it's this
Okay,
page,
gotcha.
you can just go to that page and you'll know right away.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I guess in terms of the nesting, is that, a lot of frameworks are using nesting now. So like Remix has nested layouts, Next.js is using nested layouts. So in the context of cells, though, it's this similar concept, I imagine, because it's all just components at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think I use the word like routing, but it may have not been totally appropriate. Like cells don't
Okay.
technically route, but they like route in the sense of like which way am I supposed to go? Like they do like kind of routing in that sense of like I'm supposed to show this because there's data, but you won't see like
Okay.
the URL update. But Redwood still just does have like layouts in the sense of like I want to share like these components across pages. Like that's easy to do. That's like the most nesting we have, and you can enforce like
Okay.
authentication on that level too. I think that's one of the parts that's pretty unique is like the router is like authentified like already, of like it knows
Oh, okay.
if you're allowed to see this page or not, like if you're allowed because you're not authenticated or because you don't have the roles. Like you don't
Okay.
have to go figure that out yourself.
Okay, that's nice. So the logic gets set somewhere in one spot, and then it just propagates through the nesting.
Hmm. I think
Okay.
that's really important. Like you a lot of the things we're realizing with, especially with startups, is like you kind of need auth from day one. Like
Yeah.
you're like pretty much always going to need it, right? Even especially in staging, when you're probably the most vulnerable because you don't have like the most security, or you're trying to move fast, and you're trying to deploy a lot. So for these things, like the router especially, like not to have auth would be like it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of work to do like after the fact. So it's
Yeah.
nice to have that like upfront.
And this is still a thing
No,
that
for
I
sure. And
mention as
it's
like one of the key benefits that Redwood has over other framework solutions is that very, very tightly integrated auth solution. At this point, like Create T3 app is the only one I can think of that really comes with like a very, very good built-in kind of experience. And they use Next Auth, which like Next users usually have to build in themselves.
yeah.
Mhm.
No, for sure. And a solution to like being able to have the auth agnostic too is super nice. Like I've used Clerk before, and it's a pretty nice. It hooks in pretty nicely, but auth is kind of one of those things, like, because I worked on a custom auth for like SAML, which is a whole other beast, but it was like a terrible idea working on a custom thing. Leave auth up to people and just integrate it. And it's auth is that kind of thing where it's like you were saying, everybody's going to need it. Like even if you start off with a landing page, at some point you're going to have to log in
Mhm.
to either have an admin section or like a member section. So it's crucial, but it's like it's not something people really want to have to manage themselves, so and this just ties into what sounds like the simplicity too with Redwood, in terms of it just trickling down through the nested layouts. I think that's super cool. I was wondering, if would you want to maybe take a peek into some code, like if I loaded up like just a bare bones Redwood, and from there, RedwoodJS app, and from there we could just maybe, you can talk about some of the new things that we were talking about before, and we can maybe try and put some of those things in place.
Yeah, totally. That sounds like fun.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool,
Since we're
cool, cool.
streaming, it
This is
might
the
take
first time
a
I'm
little while to
doing
actually
my
install the
pairing view with
npm stuff.
3 people, so let's see what happens. Okay, it looks okay. I tested this all with myself replicated 3 times, but anyways, cool. All right, so we're just in pairing view. Oh, I should get out of here. I was working on some remix stuff for work. So I'll just close this. And I guess I dropped a link to Redwood. I'll drop it again. So if folks want to get started, check out the docs there. But to get started, because it's been a while, because I work on a bunch of frameworks at work. What's the command to bootstrap it? Is it npx or npm init for Redwood? I can't remember.
We use Yarn, so it'd be Yarn
Okay.
create Redwood app. I think all dashes and then the name of it. Or you're right, yeah, create and then Redwood dash app.
Okay.
And then whatever you want to call it.
All right, cool. So let's go into dev streams and fun with Redwood JS. There we go. Look at me, Ma. Okay, so we'll let this install. So I'm curious with the choice of Yarn to create versus something else. I mean, Yarn's pretty fast. Like, I imagine you're using the version 1 of Yarn still, versus like, because I know there's a lot of people didn't really go to Yarn 2 or Yarn 3.
We did go to Yarn 3 actually.
Yeah, we did.
Dom
Oh, you
a
did?
lot of
Okay,
work
how
on
is it?
that.
Yarn 2, you're absolutely right. Like it was not an easy upgrade, and we tried, and we just were like, yeah, we can't do this. And then Yarn 3 came out, and the Yarn team actually like helped us get through
Oh, that's
like
awesome.
some parts of the upgrade that were a little gnarly. But yeah, like as soon as you're like globally usually use Yarn 1, as you can see here with like the emojis, like the truck and stuff like that. But as soon as you download the app, like Yarn 3 is like already there for you. And you shouldn't have to do anything. It should just start using it.
Okay, gotcha.
But
So
to
this
your
is,
question, like back in the day, we were using workspaces, and that was actually
Okay.
like something that was just specific to Yarn. Like nowadays, I think npm does have it natively, but it didn't like
And
just a couple years ago.
PM probably wasn't really around
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like 2018 when they first started building this.
Yeah, I remember when, because I was working at Dev2 before, and there was the Yarn 2 post that came out from, I think his name's Mile, the owner of the, not the owner,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the core maintainer. Yeah, and the reception of version 2 is not great. But anyways, so I meant the CLI here now. I'm super comfortable with TypeScript, so do you want to do that, or should we just go for JavaScript, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, TypeScript's the way.
All right. Okay, cool. And this is nice too. This is, I mean, a lot of projects, TypeScript's definitely gotten a lot popular, so it's nice that you can bootstrap it with here. I think most projects do that now. I think Next.js, correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, but I think they default to TypeScript by now instead of giving you you can choose JavaScript still, but I think they default to
yeah, I think for 13
to,
I think they
TypeScript.
moved over to it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah,
So we got a
team is
few
pretty
things
split
happening.
on the difference. So I think we might be one of the only teams that still has like a lot of not diehard, but like not that they love JavaScript, but that they don't like TypeScript is more.
Yeah,
how I
chief
would phrase it.
TypeScript
Yeah.
haters around our club.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Orcs is also are hanging around, so there's lots of interesting conversations.
Cool. So this is loading up right now, so it's just setting up a few things here. I don't know if you want to speak to some of the things that are getting set up here, but obviously TypeScript, I guess the Git preference, it's just doing the repo, but I saw it's generating types before. Is that related to cells or something, or what is those types that it was generating before?
So it's related to Redwood's like directory structure a little bit. So we have like we didn't want to have a bunch of like index.js files everywhere because like you don't know where you are. So we always name everything like home page or whatever it is, like, and there is no, in the directory itself, there is no like homepage index file, but Redwood kind of has this like Babel magic to it where like you will always export like the file, the components, the directory is named after. So it's just like understood, but TypeScript does not just understand that. So we have to kind of tell it there's something going on here. And it's one of, I don't know if it's as well used, but they're called like mirror types. Okay. It's mostly like it's literally for a file system. Like, I don't know why else you would use it. So it's probably one of those things you never write yourself, but in our case, we have to. We usually we come up with these ideas and then we don't know if the ecosystem will let us do them or not. But we usually figure them out one way or another.
Okay. Cool. VS Code had this recommended extension, so I just went ahead and did that. I saw a few that I probably didn't want to keep, but whatever. It's a live stream. Okay, so all right, so we've got everything loaded up here. Just let me close all these extension windows. Okay, so we've got the app bootstrapped here. So I imagine if we want to start it, is it yarn start or yarn dev? It's been a while. I went through this with Anthony last year. But
yeah, it'd be yarn. So your command is going to be yarn Redwood, and then that gives you like the Redwood CLI. Everything is after that, and then dev would be what you want.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I remember this now. And this is getting back to what you were saying about like PHP and Laravel. And I don't know Tom, but I know they're fans of Ruby and Rails. So like there's generators and stuff here, right? So like similar concepts from Rails. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so let's just load up the site in dev mode just for folks. And give that a second. All right, and of course it opened it up in the window I didn't want it to open up, but that's okay. Let's just close that and get another window. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We're all set up. Cool. Back to tab. Yeah. All right. So awesome. All right. So we're up and running, and at this point, we can just kind of get down to business, right? Like we can. You get all the usual stuff, like you get the hot reloading, hot module reloading, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's already ready for you. Mhm.
Cool. Okay, so let's go back to talking about some of the new stuff, and I'll drop those links again for people. So I guess like I don't know if you want to do the auth part. Like we don't necessarily have to integrate a third party thing, but like is the API to wire up your auth solution like the API is not I guess it's pretty approachable. Like we could like make up something like, you know what I mean? Like if the query string has like logged in or something, or is it what's it kind of look like the API or how it integrates?
Yeah, we could it may not be that simple, but we could also just try it. But you want to do yarn redwood setup auth and then
Yeah.
custom, and
Okay.
we can walk through like kind of like how it looks.
Yeah.
You got the fig.
Cool.
Is that fig for the autocomplete?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to pass something, I think.
Oh yeah, so set up auth, and then it's like which auth you want to do custom auth in this case, which is like not one we
Okay, auth
support out of the
0 or
box.
whatever. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, sure. I guess Netlify, I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
work
mean,
there.
like you could do Netlify, but if you want to like see how the API works and possibly
Okay.
like do a little like a fake login, it would be custom
Yeah.
in that case. Yeah,
Okay. Why don't I see custom? Well,
I don't know.
I can just type
Sorry.
custom. No, it's
Yeah,
not that.
that'll
That
work.
just probably means it probably just means there's definition files for Fig, so it probably just doesn't have
Mhm.
it yet. Okay, cool. Have
You
you
could
messed
say you're
around with any
using.
of the?
Oh,
Okay.
no, I am pretty bare bones. I use like the terminal that comes with like Mac. I don't install
Okay.
like another
You could
one.
use Warp. I like it.
The
Yeah.
Rust one, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you use, Anthony? I can't remember.
Warp.
Okay. Yeah, I checked that out, and then my coworker, who's very private centric, was
He's like,
realized
oh,
that
you
it's
need
sending
an
all kinds of
account.
telemetry.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I mean, like that's gonna be for me. It's like I am not doing anything sensitive enough that I'm like super concerned about that. But it's
yeah,
a reasonable
exactly.
thing. I think that's something that's not going to be required after beta. Also,
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good to know. All right, cool. So we got this set up here. Okay, cool. All right. So I guess where do we look here now? I imagine it added it
Mhm.
to the API or something.
So the API is actually pretty simple. There's not much to it. There's a decoder you have to implement. So Redwood
Okay.
has like JWT based auth, and
Okay.
every like GraphQL request will have like a bearer token, and then like you have to, if you go to like the uh, GraphQL.ts file, it should be like on
Okay.
the API side. We'll see there's a um, yeah, okay. In this case, it didn't make it for you because it's custom. But we
Okay.
would have to make a decoder, like just like how do I decode the JWT? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, pretty simple.
Okay.
But we can do that later. Like, we'll actually most of the logic is actually on the web side because
Okay.
there's a lot of hooks you have to define, and
Okay.
you want to go to the auth.tsx file on the website. It would be that one. I guess
Okay.
not tsx.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
guess it's not TSX because there's no JSX in it. But
yeah, that's right.
anyways.
I think some other ones do, like Clerk will have JSX, so it's just like,
Okay.
yeah, you're a lot to keep track of.
Cool. All right. So okay. So we've got the TypeScript interface here. So this is what we need to implement, I guess.
Exactly. Um,
Okay.
yeah, like a Redwood Auth provider, like for Netlify or Clerk, for instance, like we'll have all these functions like already implemented for you. Like it knows how to log in via Netlify identity or log out,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But in this case, since it's our custom auth, we have to
Yeah.
do it all.
Gotcha. Well, it's a good exercise to show how it works. So, okay. So we've got this looks like, I guess these are just like placeholder emails and IDs here.
Hmm. Yeah, or
Okay.
it's just like placeholder everything. Like all of this would have to be like rewritten probably to use like some kind of fetch library of like
Yeah.
like how do I, when you log in, like there'd probably have to be some validation of like well, like definitely when you sign up of like you can't use that username, you know. It depends on like how crazy we'd want to go with it.
Okay.
But yeah, these ones are just like little examples.
Okay. So is there anything we need to do right now? Like it's custom, like you said. So like here's the type, I guess. And then so we just have to, those are all done there. So we just have to implement the client like I was mentioning. Okay. So with the placeholder ones, can we actually log in? Like, because I don't see any passwords in the, or how would it work if we wanted to use the custom right now?
Yeah, so I happen to know this just because I worked on it underneath, but like the first way Redwood will try to see if you're logged in is it'll call get user metadata.
Okay.
So if we wanted to just like, if we wanted Redwood to be like, okay, like this person is logged in, like it usually tries to like, is there a user? Can I get a user? Like if I can't, then like you're logged out. And
Okay.
yeah, and usually the client will say that, like the clear client will be like, yeah, there's nothing here. Like there's um, so in this case, we could just have that return like something. And
Okay.
then in that case, like there would be a user, but that would let us kind of like start with the get token function. And
Yeah.
then we could like kind of try to set up the cross between the website and the backend at the same time.
Okay. So should I just copy this this payload here for the meta user data and just return it right away? Is that what you're suggesting, or?
Yeah, that might work. Like and you could
Okay.
put it in like the client function
Yeah.
for our like
Okay. Cool.
own auth client. Yeah.
All right. So, oh wait,
I should say
that's not
everyone
the
don't
client.
do this. This is like horrible. Don't make your
Yeah.
own
Yeah.
auth.
Oh, actually, it already has the meta user data. So this is just a unique person. We just don't have any roles yet. So that
Yeah.
should return us this unique user ID with email at example.com, right?
Yeah, you're right. So in this case, even getting current user, is that one there? Okay, so that
Yeah, I
one.
think so. There's get token. So yeah, it's a fake token, fake metadata, and I guess if you do the sign up, it just registers that person.
Mhm.
Okay.
So this might, you're right. Like just with this, like it might just act like we're logged in since we have
Okay.
it kind of all hard coded. So we could try that by like making a page and destructuring like the auth hook and seeing what it returns.
Okay, so I can come to pages here. So these are some error pages and 404. So I just create a new route in here, or is it a route or is it a page? I know some frameworks have different naming. A lot of them they call it routes these days, but
So you could just stay on the CLI because like making
oh yeah,
files
that's
and
right.
naming stuff is too much work. So just do yarn redwood generate page and then you could call it like home or whatever you want to.
Yeah, so generate and then page, and then let's call it awesome. In terms of casing, like, because like the JSX will be capital, but the page, can I name it lowercase and it handles that, or?
Yeah, it'll go through and like I don't know if it's camel case, but like so for the path, like it'll be kebab cased. The
Okay.
component will be like Pascal, like you mentioned. It'll take care of it. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's nice because those are. I'm only bringing it up because the other day I was helping somebody with an open source project and they couldn't figure out why it wasn't loading, and they were importing a Pascal case component, but the actual component file was lowercase,
Oh no. Yeah.
and it's one of those errors where you just don't really know what's going on. So
You like burn a day that way. It's horrible.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it creates a folder, and then this is nice. I believe I can't remember. Did we generate a page when we looked at Redwood last time, Anthony? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think we just kind of went through the basic, like create a page, get a database set up, get a cell set up, hit that. database. I think we did do some auth because it was 1.0 and I wanted to show off one of the auth things. I forget exactly how we did or what we used.
Okay. Yeah, it feels I've lost all sense of time in the pandemic, so it's like I know
And
it
that
was
was like a
like
year
probably a
ago,
year
you know?
ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, cool. But the thing I like about this, you were talking about Storybook before being integrated. I like how the generator in the CLI, it gives us the page, it gives us a test file, and it also gives us the stories all co-located. I know people have opinions about folder structures, but I feel pretty strongly about co-locating it. It just makes more sense, I find. But and I'm assuming
Yeah,
folks
we
on
do
your
too.
team do as well. Okay,
I
cool.
think we need to
So
go a little further, but we're talking about like making things more co-located when you have like components on that page, but that's for the future.
okay. So we won't look at the tests and stories right now, but we'll go to the page that got generated, and I'll just give us some real estate here. Okay, so we've got our custom auth in place. So what's the next step if we want to integrate auth to the page?
So if
Or
you
is it done
go
already?
back to the auth file real quick, you'll notice at the end, like it should export two things, Auth Provider and
Okay.
use auth. So the Auth Provider has been already like hooked up for you. If
Okay.
that's in like the app file and the routes file, but we want that use auth hook because that's how we
Okay.
like do React things with our
Yeah.
components. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So just like go ahead and call that, and it'll give you a bunch of stuff. And in our case, I guess we want to see like
It's not picking up.
you can
There we go.
import it from, oh, maybe it'll just like, the top one is great. Yeah.
Cool.
Use no auth is a bit funny. That's like an internal
Yeah.
thing.
All right. So in here, I guess we can use a lot of things in here, but what we're just kind of demoing right now, what should I pull out?
I'm kind of curious if what is authenticated will return given like the boilerplate there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then I guess maybe get the current user.
Yeah.
So we could just say, I guess, it's authenticated. Then we can just do, otherwise we can just do null, I guess. And then I won't bother with the current user yet, but I guess we can just start this up and see if we're authenticated.
Yeah, I'll go to your routes file real quick just so we can, there's one gotcha with, so when you generated the page, the path, it just used the name of the component. So
Okay.
we could just make it like / just so that we don't have to navigate anywhere for now. In
Okay.
the first prop.
Okay, yeah, it's / already, or do you mean / at the end as well?
Oh, just make it like / like the index.
Like, yes,
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so it just hits the home page. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
Okay,
Perfect.
cool. Okay, so let's start this back up again. Yeah, I forgot about the CLI with the generators and stuff. That's definitely super powerful. It's I'm not a Rails dev, but where I was working before was a Rails monolith, and I remember doing like database migrations and like just creating some new things that way. And it's definitely super handy because that's, I mean, a lot of that stuff, it's like you could do it by hand, obviously, but it's like just tedious. Okay, so let's see what it gave us here. I'm back here. So there we go. We got awesome page, and we are authenticated. Okay.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So I guess that's kind of nice if you just want to get started. Like you could have the custom auth, like say you don't know what you're using for auth yet, maybe. It could be a way to just kind of start building out stuff.
Yeah, it's like depending on where you want to start, sometimes you'd want to be like, most of it happens like when you're logged in, the hooks are like not useful when you're not logged in. they like don't do anything. But
Yeah.
in this case, like, yeah, so you wouldn't want that to start. So we could go a couple directions here. We could like act like the authentication logic's all good and like work with the other hooks and implement those, or yeah, we
Okay.
could back it up and be like, our implementation's a little bugged, like thinks everybody's
Yeah,
logged
yeah.
in.
Yeah, we could I guess it'd be nice to go through the whole login flow, so like maybe like spruce up the custom one a bit. I don't know what you think, Andy. Should we Anthony, should we go YOLO?
Of course, YOLO it every day.
Yeah, okay. All right. Cool. So we can head back into what was Auth TS, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were to implement this for real, like our custom auth, even if it's not the best implementation of an auth solution, I guess the first thing is we have, what do you want to do? Do you want to maybe just do like a in-memory database, like just some object that's holding everything?
Yeah, like we could make it so that like get token will check like local storage or something like that to see if something's there, and would
Okay.
just kind of like use that. Or if not, we could make like a custom function that it hits for like a.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, we could use local storage. Might as well show some web APIs. Okay. So if we go to here, no, that's the interface. Where's the actual client again? Oh, here. Okay. So I guess first thing would be, so I'm just gonna comment this out. All right. So we would have to implement the login, and like you were saying, does the real login, normally it would be getting parameters here in the login, like username and password, I guess?
Yeah, so like we would probably call this in the context of like a form submission. So yeah, like a username, password.
Right. And then we can build out the page in a bit here. So we could just say like, if password, we can just a simple check, like if it's got a username and password. And then, okay, and then we return it. Sure. So we would return this, and then we could just say, I guess the username could be the email, I guess. I don't know. Or,
Yeah, that's how dbauth does it by default, is it'll just keep them the same.
Okay, and then here we can just do the same thing. All right, cool. And then, so that's good. So anybody can log in. Obviously, again, for folks watching, this is not something you want to ship to prod. This is strictly for demonstration purposes. I live in Canada, but
and we could make like a custom function just to make it like kind of cool and make it like, okay, like if your password is one of these, you get to log in, but if it's not,
okay, yeah, we can do that. Cool. All right. Okay, so if is valid password, we'll just pass in a password. And again, just having some fun, just building out some stuff here. Okay. All right. And then we could do this like, let's put passwords here. We could just say like it's an array. We'll just say password, password with a 0. I don't know. We'll just keep it simple. and then we could just say passwords dot includes password. Again, just a very trivial demo. Again, not production grade. Unless Anthony gives me the thumbs up, I'm not pushing this to prod. Okay, so
we could
got
like
that.
I meant like an API side function, like
just like okay,
yeah. But
gotcha.
This also works. Yeah, it's not going to be any more secure in the API side function. It'll just be like more roundabout. I mean,
yeah, but we can do the API because we might as well showcase that. So let me.
Yeah, you're gonna hit something. It's not gonna be like on the client.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the API, and this brings up a question I had. Is right now I'm fairly certain there's no server-side rendering story, right? Is that correct?
Correct. No.
I know that. I know it's been talked about, but
Veet
there is an API
part of that story, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the idea with switching to Veet is that it'll enable that a lot easier than like Webpack would. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. But having said that, there is API routes available in Redwood. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go, and I guess
Also, just a quick
let's
shout
go with
out
the
in
Redwood way.
the chat. We got Talk to Me Gooseman, who's works for Zeal, who's been doing a lot of work with the Redwood stuff.
Oh, nice. And also, thanks for the follow, Gooseman. I saw you pop up before, but for some reason I couldn't find your name in the chat. And but thanks for the follow. Oh, now I see him or them. Sorry. Hey. All right, cool. Okay, so I imagine we should use a generator if we're going to create a new API route.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
You got this.
We might as well just do this the whole Redwood way, because otherwise it's going to be tedious just copy pasting or doing whatever. All right, so we're going to do the same thing again. So yarn Redwood generate, and I guess is it API or what is it?
It's function this time.
Okay.
And
And
then we
then
call
just
it like
give it
auth, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And there we go. Cool.
Then it yells at us that like we have a job to do here that we're not going to worry about. But
Yeah. And but that does bring up a question. So like obviously once this is deployed, it'll be running in a serverless context, the API. But for local development, does it simulate that?
No, I mean like the function, whether you deploy it serverlessly or server fully, like won't. There will never be like a collision where like two requests could come in and it doesn't like wipe the context before. Like it'll always have like the one context per request. But there shouldn't be any like noticeable difference between dev and when you deploy.
Okay, cool. All right, so we created that function. So we now have an auth folder, and then I guess I understand what the auth.test file is, but what's what's a scenario file in the context of the API?
Yeah, so this is like a database scenario. Think about it that way of like I have what do I want this function to do when my database looks like this? That's like the scenario. Like the scenario is like I have 3 users or I have 0 users, or I have invalid data, like what should happen. So you get to like seed a database before your test is run, which is helpful, but we've actually had some scaling issues with this because if you have to seed a database before every test, they have to run sequentially, more or less. You can't have we haven't spun up like a bunch of databases, so this works great in the beginning. We need to make it a little better as you scale. Yeah.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, but like I think when we did our stream last year, one of the other parts of the tech stack of Redwood is Prisma, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. We spun up a Railway database and connected to that with Prisma schema.
Okay. Yeah, because I was listening to I think it was PodRocket yesterday, and they had one of the developer advocates from Prisma, and they had something interesting, which I think since you're using Prisma with Redwood, they have a new product I think it's in the version 4 as well. It's called Accelerate, and they're going to be able to cache the database throughout the edge in like different locations, which I only listened to it literally last night while I was out for a walk, but it sounded pretty interesting. Like obviously your writes will still be centralized, but it sounds interesting in terms of like if you were to deploy your Redwood app to the edge, could be interesting.
Yeah, this is super duper new, and this has been a long time pain point for Prisma when you have kind of this split between you get as much as you can onto the edge, but still end up with like a single connection to your database, and you end up with like this bottleneck. And so they had the data proxy, and now they have this. So they've been kind of trying out some different things to mitigate this. This is very, very new. I have not even tried this. It looks like you have to join a wait list. Do you know anything about this, Dom?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good.
The Prisma point releases, I unfortunately don't know as much about their like business side.
Okay. Yeah, no, like I was saying, I literally listened to this last night while I was out for a walk. So it's just,
nice.
it just sounded like something really interesting that I think people who are using Redwood could benefit since Prisma comes out of the box. I think they did say it's in private beta right now because they're obviously testing it still. But anyways, that's just a side note. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So in our case here for the auth, we don't really need to seed anything in the database because we're not even touching the database right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This is only for tests, actually, this scenario. So like if you're not going to write any
Oh, okay.
tests, then like not going to be useful for you. Yeah.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
you should write
Cool.
tests, right?
Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's get to our handler here. And I'll just close the terminal here just so we get a bit of real estate. Okay, so there's all kinds of stuff in here. I see some JS doc types in here for the different things here. This is all AWS specific, it looks like. Okay, so we have what I would say probably looks like a typical serverless function, regardless
Mhm.
of what platform you're using, or most people use something similar like this. Okay, so we've got the event, which I imagine that's going to contain our payload, which has like our username and password.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So here we could be like, given those usernames and passwords, we could decide if they logged in or not.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let me paste that in here. We can just get rid of this. Or well, we could still keep his valid password, I guess. Okay. So in here, we could do the same thing again. So if is valid password, event.body.password. It's not on the type, but I imagine that's where it's going to be.
I think so. Yeah. As long as if we make it, we're probably going to like do the JSON application content type or whatever. So I think it would just be on
Okay.
the body.
Okay. Yeah. So just say username string password. I think that should do it, or maybe not. Oh, it's on body though. Anyways, we'll just go with any and any for
I'm
now.
a fan of any. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, don't ship that to prod. The red lines were just bothering me. Okay, so we're gonna check that password, and if it's valid, we'll return this. Okay, and otherwise,
We
and
could
I'm not
probably
gonna
like
do.
return back a token that they could save, or like we could have the hook save in local storage or something
Yeah.
horrible like
Okay.
that. Sorry.
Yeah. So we could just have like a object right here.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, it's
So
sorry. It's already being stringified, so you should be okay. Or is
okay.
that how it works? Yeah, I don't know. Will it do it recursively? Like,
It. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw the string file. Yeah, it'll do it recursively.
okay.
So, okay, yeah. So we'll just say token, and then we can just put whatever we want in there right now. I guess we can worry about that after, but I guess username maybe.
Mhm.
And yeah, event.body username. We don't want to return. We don't want to return the password in the token, though. I don't think. Okay. So we got a token here, and okay. Else, we'll just throw status code 403, I guess.
Sure. Or like yeah, I'm pretty bad with HTTP because I'm so GraphQL right now. It's like, oh, just return to 200, right? It's like that's not how it works. Um,
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. We can do the same thing. I'm definitely no HTTP code expert, but well, I don't know. We'll just say error.
yeah, that would exactly.
I don't know. I'll just say nope, because I know for security practices you shouldn't say if it's a bad username or password. You have to be ambiguous. Just trying to throw in some stuff there. Okay, we're not using the context, but in the case, in the no pun intended, but in the context of Redwood, what does the context contain here?
To be honest, I don't know. Like I've never used it.
Okay.
It's more of like I think it's provider specific, like based on where you deploy. It
Okay.
might be important in that sense, but I don't think you're going to be reaching for it that much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I know on Netlify, if you're on the edge, it provides like information about the location. So I guess it's similar for that. Not necessarily that. Okay. So this looks like it should be good. So we're gonna see if it's a valid password. We'll return a token. Otherwise, 401 with just put an error message in there. So I think that looks pretty good. And if we come back to, I guess we'll need to create a login page now.
Yeah, we'd need a little form.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this is a pretty involved demo. Unfortunately, Auth is
No, it's all good.
pretty full featured. But in
No,
this
it's
case, you
good.
could generate a component, so you still
Okay.
don't have to right click on any file directories.
Okay. So I can just say component login.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. No, I mean, I think it's fine to go through the whole flow for this particular one. I know we touched on the other new features in here, but I think it's a fun exercise to show people how the auth flow would work. But yeah,
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So let's go to the login component, I guess. Okay. All right. So let's just make a form real quick, I guess. And then label, sure. And then input, thank you, GitHub Copilot. All right. Okay. That's I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. Okay. I'll just put some inline style here just to make it readable when we load it. So let's just do display grid, and then let's just do place items. I think that'll work, center. Anyways, cool. Okay, so we got that form component, and so now we'll just need to import that into, I guess we can do it in our awesome page, even though that's, yeah, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, and then after in the on submission handler, like we would call our like login function from the use auth hook.
Yeah, gotcha. Form. Oh, there's a RedwoodJS form. That's not what I'm looking for, but
oh yeah, you're gonna have to just. We do have React hook form as an integration.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But in your case, like I mean, yeah, HTML works. It's
oh
totally
wait, no,
valid.
it's login. There it is. Sorry. So we can do this. Okay, so basically, if we're not authenticated, show the login form. Okay, so at this point, we've got the use auth, so we're gonna have to hit the client now first because we shouldn't be logged in at this point, right? Like if we look at the auth TS.
Right. Like we could change the auth TS file. So yeah, like the metadata, we could just make it return like nothing for now, I think. Or
yeah, okay.
Maybe we could do the like check local storage to see if something's there. Then like we could have the login function like save something to local storage so that we know there's a user after having logged in.
Gotcha.
But we will need a bit of like a fetch here, fetch logic.
So here it's going to be the form. And then in the, actually, if we go back to the login for a sec. So are we going to do an action here, or is this going to be all client side, like with on submit?
Yeah, all client side.
Okay. Right. And then we could pass this in as a prop, but I'm just going to do it in here for now. So let's see here. So log in. And then up top here, we can have function login. And then that's going to take, that's on the submit. So that's the event forms on form. It's the event, I forget. Whatever, we'll just go with the generic one. Okay, so we're going to submit it. So I'm going to do event.prevent default, I guess. And then we'll, yeah, you are right. It's pretty involved. It's all good though.
Yeah, just use like one of the custom baked in, right? So you can go back to building your startup.
Okay, so let's just say this HTML form element. You know what, let's just get them by IDs. I'm just going to keep it easy. Email, password.
Yeah, does that have like, yeah, you're right. I don't know if it has the target, but perfect.
Yeah, no, normally I do the event target and you can get the form, and there's another way to do it, but just for the sake of time, we'll do it this way. So at this point, I will need to make this async. And then from here, I'm going to await fetch, and it's, what did we called it auth, right?
Yeah, here you can actually just call your useauth hook so that you can like share the logic, but you could just do it here and like yeah, whatever's in the best interest of time.
Well, for the use auth, how would I go about using that?
So you'd destructure useauth in the login component and then like pass the login function. Like, or you just either use it in the yeah, there's gonna be two logins here, but I'd probably just like wrap it with the prevent default like you've done, and then like just pass email and password to login and await whatever that does.
Okay, here, let me just rename this to
And
me.
mhm.
Make it different.
You'll need to put the
so
async before the function too. Sorry.
oh, did I not have it?
That might
Oh
be
yeah,
why
sorry.
I can't refactor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, mixing up arrow and functions. Okay, so I gotta import the use auth there. Okay, and then in here you said I should have login, right?
Yeah.
Right. So then we could do this, and then I need to. Oh, I see what you mean here. Okay, so this should be event. We'll get this done, and then we're gonna log in, and then from there, let me just grab this stuff. It's inline, I know, but I think this is what you meant. I know I'm doing it inline here, but
Oh, that's all good. Yeah, that's perfect.
okay. We're gonna pass those two in, and let's just get rid of this for now. Okay. Don't worry about the CSS there. Okay, so email and password. What's it saying here? Okay, it's saying the login needs only one. What's it?
Well,
Oh,
we
it's options.
can do anything we want with login. So yeah, you could put them in an object just to get it to be happy. But
yeah, okay.
Since it's our function and we own this auth, we control the interface and the signature.
Okay. So, okay, well, we can go back to just email password, sure. Okay, so this is going to do the login hook, which will cause it to re-render once we get some updates and other stuff. So at this point, we've got the login, and then we want to have is authenticated, I guess, still. And where was it? Oh, we're in the login component. That's why. Should we? I guess we should pass the use auth into the login, so it can be used in the.
This still, I think, will work. So like when it re-renders, it'll just like not render this component anymore because the original page
true.
will have the
Yeah, so we could do this like if is authenticated. Oh, I see what you mean. It's used over there. Okay, yeah, so we don't even need to check it is authenticated here.
Yeah, because like the
gotcha.
awesome page will know better.
Okay, so now we've got our login. So I guess we need to come back to auth ts.
Yeah, we just have to implement this function now.
Okay. It's missing there we go. Okay, so this is where we do the fetch, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so this will need to be async. Okay, so at this point, I want to do, oh, wow, not netlify, but at this point, we can do /API auth. Is that?
We actually follow kind of the netlify way by default. So instead of .netlify, it would be .redwood/functions.
Okay. /functions, and then /API/auth, or?
No API, but just the auth, and then I think that should work.
Okay, and then we need to pass the payload. Okay, so in here, yeah, we're posting it. That looks pretty good. Thank you, Copilot, for the sake of time. Okay, so that's going to get us the response. And then after that, we're going to do const our token equals await response.json, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not capital. Did I not call it that? Response? Oh, it's because I'm out of the function.
Oh.
Would it help if I put it up? Okay. All right, cool. And that's good. I feel like we have an extra bracket. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not like shifting it one way or the right.
Yeah, wait, there's 1, 2, 1, 2, login. It looks good. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. We'll find out shortly. But do you see anything missing there, Andy? Anthony, why am I calling you Andy
I've
today,
never really
Anthony?
done this flow before, so
Yeah, no, it's weird that it's showing, because if I cut this out, it should complain. It's still not complaining.
Yeah. It is
Oh, it's the
complaining.
client up
Yeah.
there. Okay. That's there, and then it should be one outside of here, I think. No?
I think you're good now. We just had an extra one, it looked like. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's good. Yeah. All right, so we got the token, and then at that point, we'll set that into local storage, I guess.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, local storage dot set, and we'll just say token. Okay.
Okay. And then one more thing here is we have to change get user metadata to like look for that token. And then if it doesn't find it, let me double check what it should return. It should just return like null, nothing.
Okay, well, in that case, if there's nothing in local storage for the key, it returns null, so we can just always return it.
True. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Let's save that. Okay, so that's the login, the get user metadata, and I guess get token would do the same thing here.
Yeah, like we might not be able to, or like I think we could get away without doing that one just to see where we're at. And then
okay. All right, so let's run this again, I guess.
uh-huh. And then let's see what happens.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Go boom. And it keeps opening in the other browser window, but that's okay. Here. Okay, let's see here. Let's open up DevTools. Okay, so we're not authenticated.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick at iamdeveloper.com, and then we'll put password.
That was one of the two okay passwords, right?
Yeah, and I'll press enter. Oh, I forgot to put a submit button. It's not doing the prevent default. It's not making the
okay.
One sec. Submit. All right, let's do this again. Log in. Okay, what did we get here?
Yeah.
Local storage dot set. Oh, it's probably wrong. Oh, it's key. What is it?
Do you just like? I don't know.
Set,
I don't
set
work with much.
No, I know what it is.
Do the index like as if it's an object, or?
No, it's not that. It's set item and get item.
Okay.
It's been a minute.
It'd be nice if they were just maps like regular JS, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this again. Nick at eo.com, password. And, okay, so we're authenticated. Okay, so it worked. The error you're seeing there is from before. Okay, so it looks like it works.
Yeah, I mean, if you put in one of the 2 valid passwords, you're logged in. So that's our custom auth. Ship it. I agree, Gooseman.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. And we can do a test here just to show folks. So if we come to application, I'm going to clear the storage so we get rid of our local storage. We should get the login page again. There we go. And whoops, I refreshed twice. Nick at yo.com. And if I put in an invalid password like ASDF, whatever, I should get a 401.
Uh-oh. We
Or
may
not.
have a few bugs.
Yeah. We got an unauthorized.
Oh, we did. So
Okay.
what we set? Oh, we set the error as the token. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's take a look. Here, if we come into local storage. Yeah, there's our token. It's object, but okay, yeah. So we should just throw, I guess, and handle it differently.
Yeah. This has
Could
been
actually return
actually way funner than I thought. Well, I thought custom auth would always be like just a pain, but it's interesting to hook into the Redwood flow and see kind of how it works.
Yeah, no, for sure. So what we could do here is we could return null, and then that should set the token to null. I'm back just to see for fun. All right, let's clear this out, refresh, and then let's log in again. yo.com, and let's just do an invalid password. It says it's authenticated. Okay, there's something there, but the auth works. Again, not production grade, but it's showing the custom auth. Cool. I know we dug into that for a while.
So,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
it's all
like in
good.
this case, if you had like, I want to use Keycloak or Cognito, this is exactly what you would do is like you would just map Cognito's login function to like the login function. So
Okay.
hopefully that makes a bit more sense now.
Yeah. But yeah, well, the nice thing about this actually, like I know we went through that whole flow, and I don't know what your thoughts are on this too, Anthony, but I think it's nice to show that I did it custom, or we did it custom, and it took a while. Whereas if we had it out of the box that can just hook in, we can do like you're saying, just map login, map this, and boom, you're ready to go. So I think even though it was a journey, I think it's good to show that it probably makes sense to not do something custom if you don't have to.
And you never have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I actually learned some
I
stuff
know we've got
while doing
about
that.
10 minutes here. I could go maybe a little longer if you folks wanted to, but excuse me. So we touched on the new custom auth stuff. Can you kind of just touch briefly, high level again? What were the other new things? We have the experimental Veet support. I don't know if that's something you want to look at in 10 or 20 minutes or not.
That'll take like 1 minute actually. If you're
okay,
do it.
Well, let's do that.
Yeah. This would have been way easier. So you can just like stop the dev server and run yarn redwood setup Veet.
Okay.
So just like we set up auth, like setup commands are kind of like how you configure Redwood on demand. And in this case, you're like, I want Veet set up, even if it's experimental, like give it to me. So just, hit that and Redwood will do all the config for you.
Okay, well, first off, that's super awesome because having worked in Webpack before and like undoing Webpack stuff to move to something else, this is nice that this is automated. Again, I know it's experimental, but continue. Yes. All right.
So this new Veet package has like all that Veet config you alluded to, like kind of like under wraps. But it's there so that if you wanted to extend it, you can. Because that's what you need to do sometimes. And now you should just be able to start the dev server, but there are a few new files.
Yeah, so I'll just take a peek here. Well, these are all the file changes I made, but
So
Trying.
if you go
Okay, so the
to,
Veet config.
yeah, there
That's
you
the big
go.
one I got. Okay, so if we close that and then here. Okay, so minimal Veet config, which is nice. You're using a plugin Redwood. So nice clean architecture in terms of the bundling and tooling here. And that migration was pretty painless. So,
Mhm.
and I'm assuming now once we run it, if we go back to Yarn Redwood Dev, it's going to load up a lot faster.
Usually the website loads up so fast that the API side hasn't started, and there's like
Okay.
a bit of a, but yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I know it's experimental, but just to show folks, we did that quick migration. If we come back here, I'll just stop it. We just ran Yarn Redwood, set up Veet, and just said yes to the experimental. And I was up and running, like you said, a minute later. So I think that's pretty cool. Do you have a lot of folks trying out the Veet now? I know it's experimental, but
I think we have we try to like in the Discord we have a little bit of like hey, this doesn't work, can you fix it? So we know from that way, like if there's bugs, people are using it. But I think we're not seeing, I don't know if we're seeing like mass adoption of it or not yet.
okay.
Um
Yeah. But it's definitely Veet is pretty amazing. Like you were alluding to with the VeetConf talks, Anthony or yourself were mentioning, but I think Anthony was mentioning it. There's a
Mhm.
lot of talks about just how awesome Veet is. But it's obviously a Veet conference, but like so many people are leveraging it in really cool ways. And I just wanted to reiterate what we were talking about before, where I know there's no SSR server-side rendering support yet, but getting Veet into here is what will enable the team to do that.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's definitely pretty big. And I think, I mean, the project is already super awesome, but I think once you land SSR support, that it's a full blown package. You know what I mean? You've got Prisma, so you got your ORM and database integrations, GraphQL, the concept of cells, the CLI with all the generators, Storybook integration. Like it's really a one-stop shop, and it's, you know, people always talk about opinionated stacks, but when you have too much, when you don't have opinions, like, and this is not knocking React, but when React first came out, you know, it was just like, oh, use whatever state management library you want to use, or use whatever for this. And, you know, and that is good, but it's more mental load on folks. And so like having, you know, tried, true, and tested stuff that is opinionated, sure, there's some trade-offs with that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, the goal is you want to be able to ship something. You're trying to produce value in it. And it sounds like the way that Redwood's bundled all this together, it's just done that. So
Yeah, thank you. And that's definitely the value proposition we want to deliver on. So I'm glad you felt that a little bit with the Auth stuff, because it can be painful. Yeah, if you always try to do it your own or roll your own.
Yeah. We got about 4 minutes here. So we talked about the Veet integration. We went through the new Auth API, which allows you to integrate anything, including our super awesome custom Auth that we have here. But it's escaping me what the third thing that you had mentioned before was.
I mentioned GraphQL security. So,
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and this is where we're a bit bad at marketing, because it sounds like we weren't secure before, but like no, it's just like we have even more security. So it's like, I don't know, improved GraphQL security. I don't know how quite to say it, but
okay. And I guess that I feel like I'm one of the few people that hasn't really used GraphQL that much. I've used like the GitHub API, and my experience prior to that was like my blog when I was using Gatsby back in like 2018. And so like, what does it mean that the security is improved? Like, I mean, I know security is an important thing, but like, I guess, can you speak, like I don't know if your portion of the core teamwork is security, but can you kind of speak to what kind of improvements have been done there, or if not,
yeah,
we can
definitely.
point to some docs or.
So it's like we have like security in the sense of like, are you logged in? Like, then you can't do this. Like, that's always been there.
Okay.
No question. So it's more like you could get so GraphQL has like there's a bunch of ways you could kind of like load the server if you're trying to like do bad things. Like you could nest queries really deep. So like GraphQL is like a graph, which means you could do like I want the author and then I want the post and then I want the author and the post, and you could just like kind of keep going like in theoretically. But Redwood is like, you're not gonna know, we're not gonna let you like nest infinitely. Like it stops at like 5, for instance. And then we're just like canceling that. So you can configure that if you want it to be more deeply nested. But like if someone was just allowed to do that, the resolvers would just keep calling each other over and over again. And then even if they're authenticated or whatnot, like if it's public API, it might not matter. So we have like security in that sense of like you're not allowed to just like put a maximum, there's a maximum number of tokens you can put in the GraphQL document. So you could imagine if that's not there and it's like, I want this giant query and it's like 3,000 lines or something of like everything in your graph.
Gotcha.
Might hang up your server.
Yeah. And just to throw this question at you, Anthony, because you used to work at StepSend and you definitely have way more GraphQL experience than I do. Is that something typical that you've seen people do? Like they just, because like from my high level perspective of GraphQL, they kind of, it seemed to be marketed to front ends as like, this is the mecca. You'll never have to worry about databases and stuff again. You can get literally anything you want. And have you seen people just try to jam the whole kitchen sink into GraphQL and just get it all back? Or what have you seen typically?
Yeah, I mean, the auth thing, there's always been kind of a lot of different schools of thought in terms of how to do it. It would really depend kind of just on what server you're using and what conventions they have. So with Apollo, they would have their own way of kind of getting the context kind of similar to what we're doing. And then there's been these libraries built like GraphQL Shield and stuff like that. So I think it's been a thing that kind of everyone's had to figure out on their own. And there hasn't really been a like blessed way to do it from like the GraphQL spec. So that's why it's always been a bit of a challenge.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, I gotta say, like, honestly, like, I feel like we've only been talking 30 minutes and it's like an hour and a half has gone by. But this was super cool. I'm still not super well versed in Redwood, but just getting back to the point, like what I was saying before, how, it just seems to make you productive. Like the CLI, I don't know if you market the CLI a lot, but it's like a pretty powerful tool to get bootstrapped really quickly. And, aside from generating pages or routes, API routes, just stuff like this, like the setting up the Veet, because we're pretty much at time. The last thing I guess I would ask is, this is not so much related to the updates, but you have the you have the Redwood CLI. Can people extend it? Like say if I'm a company and I'm using Redwood and I'm like, I want to create a custom generator to, I still need to bootstrap a page, but maybe I need to do a few other things. Is that something that you can do out of the box, like provided you implement that custom generator?
So right now, no. We've thought about plugins though, and it's not as hard as we thought. Haven't shipped any form of it, but yeah, you can change the existing generator templates. So like when you generate a page, it's like there's like nothing to it. It's like I rendered myself, like this is my name. That's the page. But if you wanted it to be a bit more fleshed out, you could do that. Like you could change the template.
Cool. No, that's awesome. Well, we're pretty much at time. I just want to thank both of you. And Anthony, apologies for the audio issue I had with you at the beginning. It's still not resolved. I did a hack to get it working so we could at least talk, but I'm going to have to sort that out. But no, this was super cool. Thanks again for all this info on the new V4, the Veet support. If you're using Redwood, check that out because you'll definitely get faster dev environment going and faster builds too, I imagine. I'm just going to drop a link to Redwood again and to each of yours. I know you're not really on socials, but there's just dropped a link where people can find you. Dom and Anthony, I dropped your Twitter because that's basically people can go there and they can find every place you're at, basically. Yeah, I guess before we go, I don't know if you have anything you want to kind of end off with, but if not, totally cool with just calling it here.
No, thanks for having me, Nick. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to pair. Glad you had a good time.
Yeah, no, it's always fun. Kind of, I wouldn't call it the hot seat, but it's just fun kind of doing this stuff, at least for me. But yeah, this was super fun for me too, and yeah, I'd love to have you on again at some point, and we can maybe dig into something else another time. And same for you, Anthony. Yeah. Next week, I always forget who is on, but there's definitely people next week. Check out the schedule. I'll be dropping it on Twitter and socials later. But thanks again, everybody, and for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, check out RedwoodJS.com, and we'll see you all next week.